You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I am back. Rodrance for Black and White Sports 2. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, like, comment. Thank you guys for watching. You guys know the drill. If you're subscribed to this channel, well, let's talk about what I believe is arguably the GOAT of pro wrestling. He's at the very least on the Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling, and I am, of course, talking about the one and only Nature Boy Ric Flair, a bazillion-time world champion, a guy that, look, I know a lot of people consider Hulk Hogan to be the greatest of all time, but I'm in the South. Hulk Hogan wasn't that big of a deal, to be quite honest with you. It was Ric Flair. Back in the day, as NWA champion, touring in the South in particular, facing the Von Erichs, absolutely a big deal down here. The Von Erichs, of course, were gods of professional wrestling in the 80s. Well, Ric Flair also has a very damn good documentary on Peacock. It's arguably the greatest documentary I've ever watched. It's that damn good, so I would go watch that. So, the GOAT, the Nature Boy, has come out, and he's made some very interesting comments about NBA players. Now, in case you haven't been following this, been living under a rock or whatever, the NBA's popularity has plummeted over about the last 4 years. Now, a large part of that is they got involved with political activism. They got involved, LeBron James, a lot of their stars have become wildly unlikable. But the one thing we don't talk about enough is the unlikableness of them not wanting to play. And people tune in for a big game, or people go to the arena, and guess what? Their favorite player is sitting due to load management. And it's pissing a lot of fans off, a lot of fans that have good work ethics. They don't want to watch players that don't want to play anymore when so many back in the day were absolute grinders. And Ric Flair, well, he slammed the shit out of NBA players, and he did admit he's a LeBron James fan, but he slammed NBA players over their work ethic. Now, back in the day, back in Ric Flair's day, these guys had to travel all the time. It was their life, day to day. It was part of paying their dues. Even once they made it, they had to travel. So, let's get to this. Ric Flair, this is Fox News, rips NBA players who whine and bitch. Draws major contrast to pro wrestlers. Two-time WWE Hall of Famer. Oh, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention the leader of the Four Horsemen, along with, of course, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. Ric Flair is a true lover of sports. He watches it all, from college and pro football to baseball and hockey, where he especially can't get enough of the playoffs. But there is one sport where he's starting to steer away because it embodies the exact opposite of what pro wrestling is at its heart. Scrutiny has found the NBA in recent years as resting players for, quote, load management on the court, as well as players sitting out for injuries some believe should have played through, doesn't sit well with the Nature Boy. And he's got a hell of a work ethic. Guys, he still works out 2 hours a day. And I'm not talking about just any kind of workout. I mean, at his age, it's a workout that would kick my ass, and I work out very hard, let me tell you that. These basketball players that whine and bitch, it's taken a lot of the sport away from me. Flair told Fox News Digital while promoting his new energy drink, Woo! Energy. The NBA used to be a league where the paint was an area where you better be ready to get bruised if you drove to the basket, and rivalries got physical on a regular basis. It was such a good game in the 80s and 90s. Now, with safety becoming a priority in every professional sport, the NBA has been calling many more technical fouls for displays of aggression like that. However, fans haven't liked the, quote, ticky-tack fouls. At some points, it's an absolute unwatchable sport. Or ones that are borderline with players embellishing to get to the foul line for free throws. I'm surprised he didn't slam LeBron for that. L.A. Lakers star LeBron James has gotten flack for that over the years, but Flair is a huge fan of the King nonetheless because of what he's been able to accomplish in the league. He broke Kareem's record in 21 years in the league. On the cover of Sports Illustrated at 16, Flair screamed. He's also a big fan of James's ESPY speech in which the latter said respect must be shown to him whether there's love or hatred because of what he's given to basketball. Like James, Flair gave his time, effort, and sacrifice to his own sport in professional wrestling. That meant performing through injuries on most nights. I will say this about LeBron, as best he can, he seems to play most of the time. Now, he's been injured. Last year, he was injured pretty lengthy. But some of these guys, in the way they just set out, Kawhi Leonard, looking at you, it's egregious. It's heinous. It's not the NBA. Quote, they go to work hurt, Flair said about pro wrestlers. That's what pisses me off today about these basketball players that stub their toe. No shit. How do you think I feel about that, knowing I wrestled 6 months after I broke my back in an effing airplane crash? I got a torn thumbnail. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wow, he's talking about players sitting out over a torn thumbnail. But while Flair respects all wrestlers because of the strain their bodies can go through, he has seen his breed of wrestlers disappear over the years, and something he is still trying to accept. Quote, all they do now is go over there, practice, and make money, he said. I don't know what else they do. No one's paying the price anymore, I will say that. Traveling 3,000 miles a week for $50 a night and a hard-boiled egg and a pig's foot, forget it. They don't have to do what I did in the 70s and all of that bullshit. I mean, nobody should have been treated like that, but they got to live it. They've got to sacrifice it. And he goes on and on about, he does talk more about his energy drink, so guys, check out his energy drink. He is talking about the fact he gave it to a guy that trains Olympic athletes and gets ready for the combine, a strength coach, and I guess the energy drink is doing real well. It's got functional mushrooms in his energy drink. That's pretty different. So anyway, that's real interesting. I do follow Flair on Twitter, and he's always saying things that are really interesting. But I will say this, he's right about the NBA. Even if you set aside all of the social justice crap, all the political stuff that they've done on the court, the load management thing absolutely drives me crazy. The level of entitlement NBA players seem to have and their drama off the court. We talk about this a lot in regards to the NBA and the WNBA. It's bad when the stories that come out aren't about the game on the court, but it's about some kind of drama or some comment one of these players have made. And look, people can try to push back on this, but all you got to look at is the drop-off in ratings from 2018, 2019 until now. The ratings are still dog shit in the NBA. People have just walked away, thrown their hands up. They've had enough for one reason or another. Plain and simple. Ric Flair, at least on the Mount Rushmore, for sure. If not the GOAT. Again, I know some people will argue Hogan. I'm a big Stone Cold fan. And I know there is some talk, by the way, of a Hogan-Stone Cold match at WrestleMania next year. But I don't know that that'll happen. I know a lot of people are pushing back on it. But in case you haven't noticed, Hulk Hogan's got himself back into phenomenal shape. I just don't know how well that match would come off necessarily. At particularly Hogan's age, I think Stone Cold could probably still get 2 or 3 good matches out. But Stone Cold's like, he may be 15 years younger than Hogan. I don't know. I don't know if he's that much younger, but he is considerably younger. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.